58%, he may be stripped.
Definitely, and look, 3-4 game here, really close. DSA getting a bit of a lead now. They got their 5th kill, the bonus is secured, but Idazi and Audi Man down around the 40% or lower. Let's just finish off the cockpit view, hey? Oh man, that's he's stripped and down. Obstacles get splattered. Small pulse cheater, Sean Korenskov. 4 Ghost Bears from the last mix on the field left. He's takes a bunch of weapons off the Stormcrow. I don't think he's going to be able to bring this one out. He's chain firing, which does reduce his firepower significantly, and loses almost all his weapons. So that is looks to be a win for DSA.
Like, yeah, my kill board's bugged, but it does look like they've got 2 mechs left on Dark Star and should be a quick win.
There you go. So we just had to restart the stream then because we did get a quick dropout. For those that, in case the first thing isn't recorded, so this is the team's things to talk about it. It's Dark Star Alliance against Ghostbear Kodiak Pride MRBC Division B AP region. So let's go through the scores, Kag.
Honestly, I just closed the score screen, thinking we were going to move on to something else.
That's all good.
Yeah, there's that.
So for DSA, we have Anti-Anti and Altitude B 423 damage, 2 kills, and DSA Cassandra and Stormcrow 373 kills. Also married them almost 400 there, being the top scorers. And of course, those that stayed alive longer did more damage. On the GBKB side, way more damage, I think. Maybe. With the 50-50 doing 560 and Remove Obstacles and Sean Korenskov both scoring over 400, and the Nova, Jenna and Cheetah respectively. Vex doing well with the Hunchback 2C. So, interesting with the range. I think DSA bringing the Brawl commit deck was a great move, and definitely helped them win when they decided to push, which was pretty early on. There wasn't much of a range thing to bleed armor through.
It looked like DSA was split with their lights on their left side, their mediums on their right, and where GBKP stayed fairly grouped up there in, I guess it was Hotel 8. They're on DSA's right side. Then they shifted over to DSA's left side, thinking they were going to catch a couple of their lights out and unawares. Their mediums collapsed in very quickly, and it worked out well for them.
Well, the good thing for Ghost Bears is they got 6 kills, which meant they do earn the bonus. So, well done to them for that. Okay, so let's move on to look at drop number 2, which Viridian Bog. Very interesting map here. I'm going to bring a map straight up and we can start like drawing some things. While it's loading up, Ghost Bear Code Pride 200 rep against 350. And we might want to update this. Viridian Quest, which will be the next map and game mode. Alright, so
in their last matchup, Ghost Bear took this one very handily as well. Looks like mostly ground bound, so probably, well, except for Night Gear and Timberwolf, could have been Pop Tarts or somebody trying to take long range in the back. DSA, their heavies, Night Gear and Night Gear, so they doubled up on the Night Gears. And looks like a lot more jumpers on the DSA side, but it didn't work out for him. So we'll see how this one turns out.
okay, so looking at the map here, it's going to highlight in white some of the more prominent features, some of the plateaus that you can stand on and do range trading from. The one on the bottom left is actually more of a ramp thing, but in any case, red team, which will be the DSA, get these caps pretty well straight off the bat, whereas Team 1 will get these caps straight off the bat, and Theta becomes a bit of a contest. Usually Team 2, I think, favours the Theta initial, I like to sort of cover, although Team 1 can get there pretty quick if they stay low. It's hard to cover the mechs on that cap point.
It'll be interesting to see if so Team 1 is Ghost Bear this time. So it'll be interesting to see if Ghost Bear goes heavy on the right side. You can get caught unawares by a heavy push around those islands that are protecting Theta. The Epsilon and Kappa caps are generally fairly well get pretty good overwatch from the Echo 5 hill, one way or the other. But yeah, the fight here will either be in the Delta 5 Echo 5 area or down around Theta. We'll see how that goes.
Okay, so I just want to make sure we're live because we did the changes. Yep, and we are definitely live. That is good to know. My goodness. So one of the things I have to do, and the part of the reason that the stream may not have picked up the Star of Drop 1 is because we had to change the Twitch key, which is something I realized just then. It's probably we got like it was at 3 kills to 2, I think, when the stream kicked in again. So we definitely got Drop 1 sorted. Right, so let's focus on keep going here. Yeah, ground-based strats, Ghost Bear Cape Pro really were aggressive low grounds going like, I'm going to draw their movement last time in orange, in orange here. They kind of came around here and backed off from that and instead tried to come up here. They really tried to get brawled in 2 different ways. DSA holding a range game ended up being a reasonably interesting match actually in the end. You may have said it before, but who won when the dust settled? I remember that one.
Ghost Bear.
Ghost Bear, yeah. So that brawl, I think they lost a mech in the top line. So I'm pretty sure one of their mechs died here, one of the heavies.
Yeah, it was actually it was a final win by Cap. 8 minute long match, but only one death. The Nova from 50/50 was the death on Ghost Bear side. It had 5 kills on the DSA side. So be interesting to see if they stick with the maneuvering trade game or if they go a little bit deeper this time.
Yeah, I think both teams. Well, I think Ghost Bear Cape Pro probably stick to a brawl centric. That is my guess. They might have like a Nigeria as a ranger. Is my guess. And look, when I say brawl centric, you can still have like 5, light, medium, fast things, and you have like 2 Nigerias and a Hunchback 2 CA of tart coverage, which like is a pretty punchy range deck with brawl. So of course, coordinating it so the left hand and right hand know what they're doing is incredibly important. Because I think Viridian Bog, when you start trying to do mixed ranges and plateau maneuvers, can become a very complicated map. Be cohesive on, probably the best way to say it. Alright, and let's get into the drop. Alright, so drop 2 is 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies. Do a quick flyer in the map. It's a nice, lush, densely forested, swampy little map with some weird, they're like kind of spines, but they're plant, shell feature, purpose things. Maybe like dead worms. I'm not sure what these are. Actually, got legs coming out. They are dead. They're like dead crustacean worm things. Effects. Anyway, this central feature here I'm looking at is a really major point of control. There's ramps on both sides now. They didn't always have 2 ramps, so now it's got ramps on both sides. It's fairly contested. Actually, I think Team 1's slightly favoured. Slightly. Team 2 does have the extra ramp on their own on the Delta 5 mini hill, so big hill and small hill.
And the match is live. Ghost Bear's starting off with a Hunchy 2CA with large pulse and ER meads, a Spider ER large laser machine gun, Night Gear Ultra 2s, Shadowcat, 2 ER large, SRM4, and machine guns. That's going to be an interesting mix there. Night
Huh.
Gear, 4 Ultra 5s. Huntsman Brawl, 6 small pulse, and 4 SRM6. Nova, 12 small pulse. Sorry, 10 small pulse on 50/50's Nova. And for the Arctic Cheetah is 6 small pulse.
Alright, DSA has taken a 3 cap with data included. I'm going to quickly go through their mechs. DSA has a Splat Griffin, PBC Lunch Pack, Splat Jenna, Small Pulse Cheetah, Shadowhawk, PBC LRM 3, LRM 5, okay. 6 Ultra 2 Night Gear, 4 Ultra 5 Night Gear, and a Dual Peep Nova. So there's a bunch of range and DACA on both sides here. They're going to go like full on parkour mode. Nice and up top.
Alright, I'm looking at the overhead view. Looks like Dark Star's got a nice spread firing line again. And GBKP kind of bunched up there looking for a Theta push here in about probably a minute, would be my guess.
Now, I hope it's not bugged, but have the GBKP mechs not even got shot except for Vex right now?
Lermgod's taking a bit of
second,
damage, but yeah.
And the trades are definitely against DSA at the moment. Look at the Night Gear's Hunchback for DSA down below 60%. Lots of good DACA trading in there. The Shadowhawk is an interesting pick there with the LRM5s. They're kind of ramming each other behind this one tree. You got 3 mechs behind one tree here. And the Lunchback falls off the cliff.
Yeah, they need to give up that island, find something else to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I think Little Hill Delta 5 is probably a good place for DSA to move to. So I'm going to go to where...
Ghost Bear Lights making a move on Theta.
And that data move is going to make it a 3-2 cap in favor of Ghost Bear, which is really strong for them, being up on trades and cap control.
The DSA mechs are out of position to do anything to counter that. Yeah, DSA Cassandra and Captain Alta 4 took a beating there hanging out on that hill.
Yeah, I'm not really sure it was worth those initial trades. I mean, the only most hit mech for Ghost Bear is actually the Cheetah at 87%, which, I mean, the Lung was at 74, but it's pretty well spread. He's at K. DSA is that Jenna is looking at data, but it's just too covered. They've got too many mechs covering data. To make the move. Now there is going to be Epsilon movement instead, that's made by Anti-Anti in the Arctic Cheetah. So maybe the 3 cap will be flicked back to DSA briefly. That Epsilon is more of a opportunistic cap, not a reinforced hold. Might be difficult to achieve for long term, but for now they're going to bring it back to a 3-2 in favor of DSA. Oh, Lango took a nice PPC shot. Put some DACA out though. He's only crit on 1 arm. He's 3 out of 2s at the moment. I think that's because they're jammed. We have all 6 still functional. Down jam.
And Idaizi is hanging out right there in the middle hill, providing seismic. He's going to be able to get a little bit of sensor intelligence on the Ghost Bear movement there to the left.
I don't think he sees the Epsilon counter move. I mean, the Ghost Bear sent 3 mechs for Eps.
They do it all. Whoa, look at that.
Oh, hello. 50/50's moving up pretty aggressive here with his Hunchback friend. Oh, he gets a Niger. Captain Alpha 4 goes down. They must have known he was crit and went in there for a finisher. That's actually a nice play.
3v2 light fight there going on around Epsilon.
Oh, let's have a look at that. Oh, I think DSA is not in a great position at the moment. I think Ghost Bear's played this one very well and may take the win just based on what we've seen already. Now, the Spider's pulling back to his Cheetah and Shadowcat friend. DSA lights aren't giving up.
Really good position there. They've moved up their forces past Theta. They've got Ghost Bear has moved up their forces past Theta and has kind of got DSA cornered there around Kappa.
And look, the 3-2 is clearly in favour of Ghost Bear. This light fight, I mean, it's 2 fights on the field. I'm not sure which one to watch. The light fight I really want to see is because the Splatgen is going to do a heap of work. It's going to take out the Spider. I think the Spider is very, very injured. Left torso 1 shot. Addyman goes down in the main fight, but Anti-Anti kills Swinboy. So, I mean, the light fight is actually being probably I would say won by DSA at the moment. Um,
Yeah, is that going to be enough for them to come back from
no, the
the
heavy
losses on the
fight,
other side of the field, though?
the heavy fights are Ghost Bear's game at the moment. And look at this movement up. Look, they're keeping the mechs alive. Ghost Bear's a lot of head mechs, 47%, a few in the 50s and 60s as well. Excellent play there. I mean, the Shrunk Renskov and Varu Volskos are very fresh too, so the Huntsman and Hunchback can take some hits. Let's move up and do a bit cleanup here. The Nova Jolly America probably not going to live much longer, but how are the DSA lights going? Did they end up dying or living? They
The
went
DSA
back to
lights
Kappa.
are all still up. Or actually, that's not true. One of them died, and currently still doing a 2v2 against the guys who pushed out onto Epsilon.
Well, they're fighting with Kappa now.
Now
Preds gets legged.
Yep, there we go. Now it's all starting to fight around Kappa.
Okay, now this is a really good move by guys, but look how they moved in. The Huntsman and Hunchback first, with the two fresh mechs, while in the back they have the two Nightjays who are very, very injured. They're going to stay at the back, so the lights aren't really going to get any shots on those Nightjays, and the fresh Hunchback and Huntsman could take the hits there. Daisy will die relatively hard because he stayed up the longest, so well done to him, and a good clean win, 8-2, which is the same, which is actually a big score compared to last drop, which was 8-6. So put Ghost Bear slightly ahead on the rep points. Alright, what do the damage numbers tell us? Oh, snap! Well, Lomgod.
It looks like the range Night Gears did a lot of work for Wormgod and Vexed.
Lomgod with the 1K in a comp drop, well done. That's a huge score. I think the biggest score I've seen in AP's Season 9. I think.
Well, certainly in Drop 2. I mean, Drop 2 has got to be one of the, I mean, it is
lower
one of the
tonnage
lower
ones.
tonnage drops. So
Yeah, a huge score.
Good on him for positioning well. Being able to put out that damage so that Vex could steal his kills.
Pretty much. Anyway, the light other mediums, the 4 mediums got 6 of the kills, so that's excellent. Alright, so now looking at the
Gwynplaine and Preds did their jobs out there trying to hold off that Epsilon cap. As long, or either take or hold that Epsilon point as long as they could. But then yeah, that wrap in at the end with their mediums and heavies just finished them off.
Something I found very interesting was that DSA had 2 lights on Kappa. You know what, let's just draw on the map. I'm going to put for it because we have a map strat to use. Okay, so this isn't the initial positioning. This is sort of a later game fight. So at this point, DSA had 2 lights engaged here, so 2 from then, and GPKP had 2 lights and a medium, a Shadowcat actually, so it was 3-2 on this fight. But back here, there were 6, admittedly they were on low ground, and there were 5 Ghost Bears. So it was a 5v6, and this is kind of the area of this engagement with those high points involved in the... Anyway, you had 2 engagements here. Now, DSA actually was winning the 2v3, and Ghost Bear was actually cleaning the 5v6 heavy fight. That was very interesting to see that it was more than just numbers in that one. So what do you think? I think swung the heavy fight in your opinion?
Honestly, I've got to give props out the Night Gears on the Ghost Bear side. Like you said, with the 1,000 damage from Wormgod and the constant. I don't know if there was constant damage or not, but at least consistent kills coming from Vexed. Then that probably suppressed the DSA team quite a bit, and the Night Gears on this map can be a very dangerous depending on the position they're in. I think DSA's initial positioning with their Night Gears and Hunchback probably, or didn't help them a bit. I think it ended up getting them a couple of early damaged mechs, and may have that. The 3 mechs trying to hold that island may have cost them the initial trades there in that 5v6.
Yeah, for sure. So let's look at the rep here now, because the rep points add up So 550 Ghost Bear Codex Pride to 400 Darkstar Alliance. That's a bonus as well. So the kill differential was 4, so that's 100 points, and then you have 50 for being a bonus the other team didn't get in drop 2, so that's 150 bonus. Sorry, differential right there, just in a 1-1 result. So with MRBC, reputation points matter. That's how the season win is decided. The head-to-heads can be pretty close, but the actual rep points can be quite different. So let's get that up for drop 3. That. And it is going to be Forest Colony. Lovely map. Rightio. I'm going to bring the match chart up for this. We'll talk a bit about what to expect to see from Forest Colony drop 3. It is 3 mediums, 4 heavies, 1 85-ton assault. So what are some of the mechs you look for to, I guess, tell what strat they're going for? Yes.
Well, last time around, the Ghost Bear guys brought a Battle Master for their 85-tonner, and DSA brought a Marauder 2C. Both very strong picks. Battle Master's got a bit more structure, going to be on the field longer, but the Marauder can hit like a truck. Have Timberwolves there on DSA's side, so that kind of indicate, may have indicated a more brawly strat, and then mixing that in with the Hellbringer, and Griffin, Cicadas, and Quick Draw. So yeah, going for a mid-range there. Looks like last time. Ghost Bear brought Night Gears, Timber, and an Orion, Orion 2CA. So there's a dedicated brawler, most likely. But they got. It looks like the Ghost Bear brawlers got focused down hard, but their range game probably pulled them out in the last match.
Yeah, so I remember that drop. It was a really crazy drop because DSA was Team 1. And they did this crazy thing where they sent all of their fast makes around the back up the beach, the Echo 7, Echo 8 beach, the cliff, White Cliffs of Dover, if you recall them, which is a really rare place to be in a comp drop. They sent a bunch of heavies through the main pass and kind of tried to pincer or choke Ghost Bear. That match was crazy because I think, I have to look at the screenshot again, but Vex and the Battle Master went complete ham and just killed. How many kills did he get again? It was a few. And Lemguy did a massive amount of damage too. The two of them just absolutely wreaked havoc. Yeah, it was an incredibly interesting match to watch because you see this strat get pulled off, and Ghost Bear was moving up towards the standard Golf 7. Golf 7 is a really key location on this map. And just have these fast mediums and I think having a linebacker as well, a lot of fast mediums in your back just shooting behind you. Yeah, I mean, Ghost Bear pulled it out in the end, but props to DSA for trying something crazy like that. So let's see what we might see. I think range game Ghost Bears are pretty comfortable with at the moment. So they tried range on drop 1. They did a very good range job with the Night Gears on drop 2, and what's the color hunches now. The drop 3, I think range would be strong for them, given that's the comfortable with, which means I'm gonna guess some sort of heavy shoreline based thing with maybe an EPS. And when they get to Hotel 8, Hotel 7, we'll see if they just hold these little I'm going to draw in white. I like using the color white to highlight terrain features. This is just south of Pickle Factory. There's something there. You got these little structures. You got this little overpass here. You got a couple of structures like that. But if you stay on the shoreline side of them, you still get control of Kappa. You're not far from EPS if you need to walk through there because there's the clay pipes around there, and it's nice for range. As soon as you go past those terrain features towards the Theta side, range becomes difficult to push past with. You can hold from there and shoot the Theta pretty easily. Just pushing past is difficult. So,
well, with the Lance set up with Ghost Bear heavy in Alpha and Bravo, we may see a flat-out water move. Heading out straight, for Ghost Bear pressuring Kappa early. And with DSA, Heavy, and Bravo and Charlie, they may be just going straight for Sigma Theta and then contest Kappa after.
Well, yeah. So the one interesting thing about drop 3 is there's no lights. So we have, I guess, there's a few ways of calling them. The pseudo lights. The pseudo lights are usually 40, 45 tonners, which are really, really quick. What are some pseudo lights you reckon that we could see from these guys?
Well, the Cicada seems to have gotten a lot of love from the skill tree, so we see it out quite a bit. But I mean, there's always the standards in the Ice Ferret and the Viper. Viper is not as strong as it was, I think, a couple of weeks ago, but still a very quick, very powerful medium when you get it in the right place.
Yeah, the Viper's a really interesting one because the Viper C, so the one with a set of 8 quirks, also give it a center energy hardpoint as well, does have slightly worse base mobility than the other Viper variants. So if you're playing Vipers a lot, just have a look at the quirks, look at the base quirks and things, and feel them out for yourself. So just see what feels right. Because there's a bit of a shake-up in the pseudo lights. Because Ice Ferrets have some pretty interesting tankiness to them if you really get the armor structure maxed out on them. There's a reason they call the nickname the Ice Fridge. They look like one and they're pretty heavy. Pretty solid for a 45 tonner.
I mean, another interesting option may be a Phoenix Hawk.
True, Phoenix Hawk 2 or the 1K or something like that. Absolutely. ECM as well with those.
They are very quick and can carry a significant amount of firepower.
Yeah. Shadowcats are an outside pick as well with the crazy amount of jump jets, ECM, and usually a bit of range. So they're a bit of a. They go pretty quick too. So I think honestly the way to pick apart some of these heaviest drops, particularly drops 3 and 4, honestly, is what they choose for the mediums. So we're going to look at that now as we load into the match. And here we are on Forest Colony. It's a temperate map, so you know, average temperature. There's water out on one side, you got some land and features on the other side. I'm going to fly over the comms tower into Pickle Factory, which is aptly named. I believe that name is from the PGI First Engagement, sorry, IGP First Engagement tournament quite a while ago, so that name's just happened to stick since then. I'm over the point Theta here, which is one of the more, I guess, doubly contested points. Team 2 gets early access to it, but it's difficult to hold because of the open ground. Team 1 has to funnel through either a canyon or an overpass to get to it, but can push it reasonably easily, and they have the cover of these locations. So the white.
If Ghost Bear's mediums are any indication, we've got a Nova, a Huntsman, and a... No, I saw it. An Ice Ferret. All very close range, all very brawly, and looks like they're heading for Epsilon right now.
Yeah, they do have a linebacker though, which is pretty quick.
Then there is the Night Gear, Gauss PPC, Night Gear Ultra 5s, Warhawk, Charlie, Large Pulse. That's not really a surprise. That's a mech that got a lot of love in the skill tree. And you're right. There's a linebacker with 2 ER large and 5 ER small. Yeah, linebacker's a very interesting mech. Everybody should have a free one at this point. But you know, very fast for a 65 tonner, but you know, carries essentially a small medium's worth of firepower.
Alright, so my camera loves panning forever, so that's... Alright,
On the DSA side, we got a Splat linebacker.
Well, there's a lot of Splat.
A Marauder 2C... Oh yeah, Marauder 2C looks like it's a brawler fit. Linebacker Splat again. So they doubled up on the linebackers. That's an interesting choice. Stormcrow Splat. Timberwolf Splat with smalls. Griffin Splat again. And Nova, ER smalls and machine guns. And Night Gear with Ultra 5s.
Look at this Theta ambush here. That's a complete ambush setup. They've got the linebacker Stormcrow Nova Griffin just there ready to just pop out at Theta, but I mean Ghost Bears just aren't going Theta, they're going like during the range on the map, they're going the range game. Shoreline-ish. A little bit in the water though, that's fine because they got longer stuff. Long range is the Epps Kappa Gamma. So this is not going to DSA's plan already from the start because I think they're hoping to get. They even use the UAV. They even popped the UAV over Theta and nothing. So, we now have the classic range versus brawl. I mean, DSA brought SRMs at that, so that not only are they brawl, they're also SRM, which is even more limited than range than some other brawl options. But obviously, very, very punchy.
And for all the comp teams watching or picking up the stream later, this is why you scrim somebody else. You end up thinking that somebody's going to do something and set up for a specific tactic. And hopefully they've got a beta plan.
Don't have a plan A or a plan B, there's always plan F.
Oh, I thought that was plan W.
Well, for us it's plan W. We in 2-8 we call it plan W. I think ISRC and Crows call it plan F. Stands for different things.
Looks like here it goes right now. Looks like DSA is moving in to set up for a hard push right there around the radio tower.
And honestly, they kind of have to. I mean, you're not going to trade with SRM, so you just get in there and get it over with. Oh, it's a bit strung out of a push.
Gonna lose a linebacker here in a second.
It's still at 92%, so he's done well to be concealed on his approach. He's swinging around very on his own. I die easy. Tanking some stuff. He's getting shot a bit.
If
Grace got wiped out then.
If the other mechs on DSA can get
they're
around
squirreling!
and capitalize on that.
He just
Exactly. If they can capitalize on that squirrel and take out some of those backs.
Lamb and the Warhawk is getting now. Oh, they lost their Warhawk. That's a huge amount of DPS off the field. He's still over 25% because and he goes down, losing every limb on him. Oh man, that's just Black Knight there.
Super aggressive move from DSA, and it looks like it's gonna
pay off. Yeah. Arthur Ryder's probably next to go from and Ghost Bear there, 50% on him. Let's go just see how badly hurt he is. Oh, he's just dead before I click on him. Who's next? That's the real question.
Right,
DSA is out for
guys
it.
in the water need to start pushing in. Their guys left on land, DSA's guys left on land are getting hit a little bit.
Here comes the
their
pushback.
Marauder 2C is still 99% health, so they should be fine for keeping that bonus. Looks like this one's going DSA's way quick.
Very much so, and you know that. This build here, 4 medium lasers, 1 large pulse, and 2 SRM6s. I think it's a maximum engine, maximum jump jet, sort of like survivability, maneuverability drop. 80.9, that's definitely XR400. The caps they just need to figure out, but that's plenty of time in an 8-1. So, well done DSA on that one. That's really, really good, you know, push. Honestly, I don't know why GPKP moved up as far as they did. I think they tried to get to the cover, those plateaus, but on top of them, except probably committed a bit too much on top too early. I think they need to test the waters with a medium or some like a pseudo light scout, which they had the ice ferret.
I think if they'd stayed back in the water in India 6, India 7, rather than you know, coming up on shoreside in Hotel 6, Hotel 7, they may have been able to take a bit more damage, you know, against the push, or been able to apply a bit more damage against the push, and you know, maybe taken a mech out or two. I thought for certain that linebacker that was the first around the corner was going to die, but yeah, it did not go that way at all for DSA. DSA pulled it out with a really aggressive move. You know, great work for the I Die Easy there, squirreling 3 mechs and allowing the rest of his team to push in and finish them off.
Looking at the scores there, Mr. Paddocks there brought in me with 3 kills, 661, huge score there. DSA Alexandra doing well, 460 there. In Stormcrow, a good damage spread. Honestly, I think the spread, DSA is excellent. Like everyone there getting, like the lowest is 230, which for that to be the lowest is a really brilliant spread. Even GBKP, I mean, they lost their linebacker and Grasshopper pretty quick. Other than that, decent spread as well. Didn't get the utilization out of the bigger mechs they wanted to, just because push so quickly and so hard. The Ice Ferret being the only pseudo light, I think, limited their scope scouting and thing was what the go was. And probably the DSA just
looks like
committing to it.
I mean, I don't know exactly what scouting or what intel they had, but it looks like they definitely knew that Ghost Bear was there in Hotel 7, and you know, like I said, pushed on them strongly.
I mean, no, DSA had good scouting. I think Ghost Bear, they had only 1 Ice Ferret, but I think if they had a second pseudo light, they would have been able to play the cap game a lot easier. See, when you're flying blind, cap game is really hard to play. It's funny. So this drawing was actually did before the drop, so I don't have to change too much. Other than UKP took more of a slightly water line. They got these 3 caps as we talked about. They moved up into these 3 areas here, and just the funneling through here into the water and back up again of DSA absolutely overload the heat sinks and cooling capabilities that UPKP had. But yeah, I definitely think a second pseudo light lets the range team be further back and still have control of what's going on. Still, like, you know what, they're all SRM fit. We shouldn't even get close to them. We can do these movements. Or, you know what, they look like they're brawly, but they're actually DACA, which is range. Hence, this isn't that and the other. So, GBKP really, I think, lost that on the intel and the movements therein by pushing a brawl deck, pushing up to be counter pushed. Better way of saying it. And they don't get the bonus either. So the current reputation point, 575 for Ghost Bear Chaotic Pride, 750 DSA. Darkstar Alliance there. Alright, so while teams are getting ready, I'm actually going to go through the team rosters quick because we get into drop 4. Why not? Alright. Ghost Bear Chaotic Pride has an absolutely massive roster, led by Sean Kerenskov. Been around for a while. You can read a bit about them there on the screen. But they're always looking for new recruits, no tier experience requirements, and just, you know, just love playing the game. Must be able to tolerate Aussie shenanigans well, though. I can relate. So, in a good way. No, these guys have been around for a while. They've played a lot this year, improved a lot. They played in Season 8 MRBC and in the World Tournament under Attila's Huns as the team name, or most of the members. So, a somewhat seasoned, but still up-and-coming team. This is probably their 3rd comp. So some teams are on their like 10th comp, but then they're on the 3rd, and definitely a mainstay of the AP comp scene. Quite a few members there from the roster. Been around for a long time, like 50-50. They've removed obstacles, vexed, all performing extremely strongly tonight. The teams have swapped over to Frozen City. They're still moving around. I've got the team quick. The Darkstar Alliance. These guys have been around for ages. I think they've been around for probably longer than we have, CAG, in the AP region. So they competed in the Worlds as well, but they were around when our first comps, like the High Pingers and MRBC Season 5. DSA was there with a huge roster, and again, back with a lot of pilots, a lot of experience, and yeah, they're playing well with the lead they have now. So great to see them back. We have here Captain Delta 4, Alzan's Fire heading it up. Got a few other players there have been doing very well tonight. DSA Cassandra, and yeah, I'd Easy and Audi Man there too. Who've been very seasoned hands at this. Rightio. That's the rosters. We want to look at Frozen City Quest. See what might come out of that.
The last time we saw these guys, and you know, just a reminder, it's 4x2. Every weight class represented, 2 of each. DSA brought 2 Kodiaks, brought a Night Gear and a Summoner, a Hunchback and a Cicada, and a Jenner and a Cheetah. So it looks like 3 lights or pseudo lights. And then the Hunchy was a 4P, which is a interesting choice for when the Hunchy 2CA is available. Ghost Bear brought an Atlas, a Kodiak 3, Timberwolf, and Night Gear, with Spider 5K, Jenner 2C, Huntsman, and a Griffin. So it looks like Ghost Bear went full brawl. And DSA with the Kodiaks may have been playing a bit of a Kodiaks and Night Gear may have been playing a bit of a range game, but it's ended up going in DSA's favor, 8-2.
Yeah, I probably should remember this one. I did shoutcast this one. It's interesting, you know, shoutcasting the reverse side of what happened last time. Because in MRBC, the first half of the season, the teams play one on team one side, one team two side. The second half, they played with the exact same map set and team set, but reversed spawn. So this This one was interesting. There's a big push. The Kodiaks, I believe, were actually Dakar, and really aggressive push across once they realized the trades weren't going to work. Yeah, that's Frozen City as a map. So I'm going to do a bit of drawing out. On this map, we usually use green for the borderline. Purple. What? Yeah, you can see a bit clearer on the white background. Okay, this sort of denotes the, I guess, the cliff faces on both sides, and in between these two is no man's land. Almost, kind of. It's both teams of range. It is because Theta is a very risky thing to cap. Team 1 gets lines first. Team 2 does get a slight delay in getting the lines they want. In covering Theta. So usually Team 1 will probably pick it up quick if they can, or at least have a slight easier time of getting it later. However, what Team 2 can do is they can harass a wide right light play for Eps, because if Team 1 is set up in a firing line, you know, in these buildings at the front here, their Epsilon backdoor isn't always covered, so there's opportunity for light aggression from Team 2 be there. I mean, Team 1 can also do a Kappa play as well. I mean, this is actually quite easy to get to. But if there's a light fight at Kappa, Team 2 can easily win that one. I think just because of the cover, Team 1 has no chance of covering their lights at Kappa. So, that's bits we'll look out for. Do you reckon there's going to be a big brawl push? Or do you think there's going to be a bit of range trading, given what we saw tonight?
Based on what we've seen tonight and the decks that we saw for 5 weeks ago, I would bet for Brawl, but yeah, like you were saying, range trade on this map, extreme range trade is really powerful. They've got you going through the rosters earlier. They've got a handful of guys that shoot really well at extreme range, so it is possible they could set up a couple of guys in Overwatch. But I would bet for a strong Brawl around Theta. Maybe like you were saying with the Epsilon wrap or the Kappa wrap, could with the super fast mechs, possible we could see some guys picking off the extreme range traders if they're out there.
Sure. Thing is with extreme range on this map particularly is you gotta be careful about getting tunnel vision, because if you try like this I guess cliff face, these purple lines are really long. They're actually quite.
And the trading positions from there are at extreme range. I mean, they're about 1,000 meters apart, so even ER large lasers have a hard time doing full damage.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like ER larges for this. I mean, you have other weapons that you can do ER PPC. Gas doesn't really do much of that range because gas is no longer an extreme range weapon. AC2, yeah, PPC. ER large is probably only 3 I can think of that viable here. That said, so with in television, let's just say that I'm going to draw it because that's really interesting. Is if all the trading is between these lines, which I'm going to draw. So these orange lines, usually the trading is within these lines, most of it. You got to watch out for sneaky pushers that try to sneak, or even traders that go from extra wide angles. So there's a spire point up here that you can trade from, and this side can do a low city sort of peak to come up, trade along here. Being a 2 of each weight class drop, so 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults, which is also what Comp, Q, and Worlds will be. The medium choice, again, I think is such a telltale pick or sign on what the drop is doing. Like, are they running a pseudo light like a Viper or, Ice Ferret or Cicada? It's for a wolf pack of Doom, or are they running like a PVC Hunchback for the range trade and for sneaky positions? I guess to add on to that, the heavy pick, well, semi-relates to it, but I think on this drop, it's pretty hard for the heavy assaults to be anything other than direct fire, laser bomb, ballistic. I don't think of anything else. I mean, speeds doesn't really help the heavies pack unless they're brawl rushing, which.
Yeah, it's what range do they need to? What range are they committed to? If they're committed to mid range, then mid to long range, then we're probably looking at a little bit of a trade game. If their heavies and assaults are committed to short range, lots of SRMs, then definitely going to see a quick push, or at least positioning for a quick push. And, hopefully they can pull it off.
Yeah, so team display quick. Okay, so the team list is interesting. Next, I'm going to go through Ghost Bears. We have a quad ER large, quad medium hunchback 2CA. Okay, we have a Splat Jenner, ER large machine gun spider, quad large pulse warhawk again, a small pulse nova, 5 ER large grasshopper, PPC gas nightjar, and a quad large pulse warhawk as a duplicate assault. Righto. What's DSA bringing?
On the DSA side, we got a Arctic Cheetah with 5 small pulse. We got a Kodiak with DACA plus 3 ER Meads for backup. We got a Night Gear with Ultra 5s. Got a Hunchy 2CA with ER PPCs. Splat Jenner, a Nova with BPCs, and 5 AC2s on a Jaeger Mech Double D. That's something we haven't seen before.
No, that's
and
a pretty neat build.
BPCs on a Kodiak 3. So it looks like DSA is pushing really hard for the long-range game.
Well, speaking of pushing really hard, I die easy. They just try to take Theta from Team 2 spawn in a light. He is now wrecked. So, left also crit. He's alive though. He got out of there. He's got all his weapons attached, but 68% alight right at the start of the game. Didn't even get the Theta flip. So like I said, Team 1 gets position on Theta over Theta really quick. So it's so risky to go for. And yes, I think in their range position now to get the trades. I really want to see that Jaeger mech just unload. Like going out there, and Audi Man down 77%. Initial trades in Ghost Bear's favor.
So it looks like DSA's piled up around dropship trying to find lines to trade, where Ghost Bear has set up essentially in the exact positions that you outlined on the map strap before, spreading out 5 of their mechs with a little bit of backup hanging out in the wings. Got Jenner back there looking for that Epsilon push. So yeah, now everybody's set up for trades. We'll see what happens.
Well, I like the quad large plus warhawk.
The Ghost Bear is set up for trades. Dark Star is kind of hiding behind hills right now, it appears.
Well, I find something an interesting pick here. Now, I'm pretty sure that the Warhawks are kitted out with quad large pulse. They are quad large pulse, but the skill trees have some range quicks up to 707 to 702 meters, as what I saw last time they played, from memory. Large pulses have a 50% drop off, not a double range drop off. So 700 plus a half of it is 1050 to do 0 damage at. Those Warhawks will be doing almost nothing. But they're down effectively 2 assaults of damage. They might be getting red reticles, but I hope they know what the range drop off is for this shot. Captain L4 here in the Gas Peep Kodiak should be getting some decent hits in. The difficulty is projectiles at this range are not the easiest. And Jaeger hasn't really gotten too many shots in yet either. He's brushed up a bit from a strike, 71%. I think I'm going to call it the ER large mechs, the Hunchback 2CA and the Grasshopper will probably be the top scorers. If this trading continues for a long time, projectile mechs aren't going to do much, the quad large pulse aren't going to do much. It's going to be the ER larges that bring it out. Just because weapons have to do range and land at this range. The initial caps are in Ghost Bear's favor by 6 points. Not much in it, really. Trimboy, Team 2 is going to go for a play in his spider up a bit. Might try poke Audi Man, who's currently locked down. DSA actually look quite locked down at the moment.
Well, like you were saying, the cap differential is what wins the game. So DSA's got to make a move, and just from my personal experience, trading from that side of the field is not nearly as easy as where Ghost Bear has. So if they're going to push for Theta, it's going to have to be hard. It's probably going to cost them mechs.
I just realized that, like you said, Mr. Pax is a DACA Kodiak, which is another assault mech out of the fight. So the only assault mech that's actually doing damage is Captain Alta 4 with the Gas Peep, and that has to land as well, which I'm not saying is a bad shot. I'm just saying at that range, I find it difficult to land gas PPCs on moving mechs, just because if they're moving erratically and using the throttle adjustments, there's ELH Hunchback here. It's such a pain to hit. Well, no, he's actually been hit a lot.
Unless you've got real good initiative, where you're waiting for them to peek out a corner.
Right, yeah.
It's difficult to make that shot.
I think Coleman, Render here, and Sean Karenskov, both in ELH mechs, going to do very well for themselves this time, wearing down DSA. The Warhawks, this range doesn't really suit them. What they think they want to achieve. The Gas PPC Nightshare from Lamgod and the other Gas PPC Nightshare from DSA, which is piloted by Audi Man. No, sorry, he's Dako. Will probably also do okay. I just think, if the teams are very passively trading, large is always, oh, DSA have decided to hit the W key. They've gone, screw it, we got Daka. And it's a necessary call, I think. I think they realize, look, the trades just aren't working for us. We just don't have that leverage of those two large mechs. And seriously, do we have Daka? They don't. The common render is actually pulling back into cover, which makes sense. Data cap for DSA using their assaults to cap because their lights are wrecked.
They're getting touched on Theta, so they're not making the cap yet. Alta 4 goes down.
That's huge. The gas peep Kodiak getting dropped, and see, now this is. I think Ghost Bear is going to probably take this. Even though percentages look, they have some 3 critically damaged mechs. They have the Warhawks have just awakened because they're now in party range for them, which is.
And DSA is starting to move up the hill. They're gonna. Here, they didn't even get Theta capped.
Yeah, Jaeger drops on Theta. And that's the thing. Theta is just a no man's land point on this map if there's range on the field. So, look at this Swimboy play by Spider, in the Spider here, just harassing that Nightgear, delaying him. Lemgo's going to hold him in the 47% Nightgear though. He's probably going to get halved. He's already got his PPC crit. He's going to go down. DSA's going to kill some mechs. Let's look at this light fight going on here. Adaizi died. Anti-Anti running away, and 50-50 and Fred's winning it for GPKP, so DSA a lot of hurt.
They're gonna get a couple of kills in. I know it's gonna be tough for them to get. They're not gonna get the bonus. Looks like, but
well, they're not too far off. They got to drop Vexed, which I don't think is gonna happen. He's pretty well armored. Yeah, they got to kill Vexed to get the bonus. I mean, Lamgod's. Wait, is Lamgod still alive? He is still alive. 20%. Huh. He's got nothing though. He's got no weapons. They're free kill though. Honestly, at this point in the game, if I was DSA, I would just get the kill, get Lemgo, get a extra 25 rep. Oh no, Anti probably doesn't have any weapons left in his. He's probably got a single small pulse, and yes, it is a single small pulse because it's an armless cheater. They usually only got one left. Well done, goes to K Pride.
Gonna be tough loss for DSA. Looks like. Yeah, I think the projectile trading across from the Team 2 side probably is not the strong call in the mech lab.
Oh, exactly. I think the mech lab really. I think of all the drops tonight, the mech lab winning or losing a drop has been this one. The mech lab in drop 3 is a huge part of it, but I think scouting could have made that engagement change that engagement completely. That's a viable. They brought viable drop decks. It's just the scouting to actually play those drop decks well was the issue. This time around, the drop decks themselves, both sides didn't really. I think they've become unsure. Oh man, Lamb got again. He's got a double 1K tonight. Oh, nice work, man. So huge score there, 1K in the night here. Probably double strikes there too.
And with Vex stealing his kills again. Look at that.
4 kills. In 486 from the Walk C. Heaps DPS. Remove obstacles, didn't quite get the DPS out that mech's capable of, but received that push and stayed alive long enough for his teammates to get a bunch of mechs dead on DSA side. We look 2 mechs over 500. You got Jolly American, DSA Cassandra in the mediums. The mediums is what really score well for DSA there. At range, the mechs we saw. You know what? Yeah, the Logo really landed those projectiles and double strikes.
Were pretty much the only mechs that made it across that no man's land.
Alive,
Everybody else either got stopped at Theta or got stopped at Theta.
As Glasgow see the Jaeger on the field, 63 damage. Yeah, just 5AC2s for a Jaeger mech is a very heavy loadout, so that's an XL and not a big XL at that. Or at least a low ammo count. Pretty risky. So Ghost by Copride 8, they get the bonus, and DSA got 2 of them. Also, I'm gonna look at the rep points on this because this is gonna be really close. Okay, oh, that's right, they got 2 bonuses. No, they had 3 out of 4 bonuses tonight. Because in their 6-8 loss on drop 1, they got the bonus despite losing. So yes, Ghost by Copride, 925 to DSA's 800 rep points. We'll look at the map strat. I think I'm going to change too much here. Drawing. So, except for putting a big red arrow over theta showing DSA pushed up here. That's basically what happened. There was, and even this red arrow on the right side, I'm going to rub out the cap. There's no kappa play that happens. There was a bit of a play on the right here with the light fight. I didn't actually showcase that much of it on screen. Easy was the Jenna was extremely hurt early on at the first trade, and so that losing armor on lights early on it's such a debilitating place to be, because if you send your 2 lights to get Kappa when they send their 2 lights, you're already at disadvantage. And at the end for the finish off, that's right. You're right. That's a better line to draw in because they did cut up there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is, this area here I'm highlighting in purple now is, where the final fight ended up. Their big mechs, or DSA's big mechs, died here at Theta for the most part. The Kodiak
Jaeger and Kodiak.
there.
Yeah.
The Jaeger died there. It was pretty much only the mediums and a couple others that were the ones who made it up in that Fox 7 Echo 7 area and got into that fight, which is too bad. But it's really difficult to play mid-range, which is kind of what they did have extreme range mechs, but it was extreme range projectile traders, and being able to side peek out around those buildings almost nullifies that completely.
I think DSA had GBKP had a 2 to an extent, but more so DSA had a Jack of all trades, master of none drop deck, where they had a small pulse nova in there for close range, but it was slow, so it's still a main pack. It's not like a pseudo light medium. But they had a slow brawl medium. They had extreme range, ERPC Gauss and the AC2 mech, but they also had the Daka Kodiak, and then you have these mechs that either, I think, honestly, you either need to win your trades and dominate the long range game, extreme range game, or bring like a mid-long thing like the Warhawks were, and then get into that range by pushing up one side wide and going through the buildings, maybe. Okay, I'm going to draw it in bright green. This is a viable move. You can push up this way from spawn. You can just forget your side of the map and come this way and be semi-brawl mid-range. That's fine. Team 2 can do that.
Yep.
And then you might be more comfortable with the mechs you bring, because if you bring
maybe still send a light to contest Sigma or to take Sigma and contest Theta, but yeah, bringing that right side push may be a more winning strategy for Team 2 side. Depending on what Team 1 does. If Team 1 swings heavy left, which is giving up that Echo 6 Overwatch over Theta, then that would just turn into another NASCAR. But yeah, the way like we started out with Ghost Bear setting up on those 5 buildings and just waiting for DSA to make their move. They received the advance as well as anybody could.
Yeah, and honestly, it was I didn't know if DSA realized this, but they played into the Warhawks' hands, because where they were extreme range, this is why you want to kind of have some, it's good to have mixed drop decks, but you got to understand why you're bringing them. You just bring mixed because the sake of bringing mixed. You get in a situation like this where, we now have to push, which means we're into their favorable engagement. If you're going to bring a mid-range deck, get to a mid-range engagement faster, sooner rather than later. So you're in a favorable range without getting chip damage done on you, or having to show your hand in positioning and then push out of that. Yeah, so that covers drop 4. Drop 5 is about to start. So Canyon Network, this is a big tonnage drop. 2 lights, 2 heavies, 4 assaults, and it's also Canyon Conquest, which both these teams being world's teams know all about in the qualifiers.
So last time we were here, DSA brought a Marauder 2CA, a Kodiak, 2 Kodiaks, and a Atlas for their heavies, or for their assaults. And Ghost Bear brought Kodiak, Executioner, Banshee, and Kodiak for their assaults. And the end result there was 8-4 in DSA's favor. So it'd be interesting to see if they can pull it out again.
Well, this set of matches tonight has been absolutely exciting because it's 2-all going to drop 5. Ghost Bear, GPKP have a 125 rep advantage, but like you said, DSA won drop 5 last time, so it's really, really close. This is a really close series.
It's definitely coming down to the last match. It's win or lose for Ghost Bear, and DSA has the opportunity to pull it out.
Absolutely. So, just think about the mechs to bring for this. And last time there's a lot of mid-range, and a bit of long range, but a lot of mid to long range in there. I'm wondering, because the first round, I believe, well, yeah, definitely was before skill trees. And this is another interesting thing with Division B, because Division B has 6 teams, so 10-week season, okay? We're in Division A, which is a bit shorter, with 6 weeks, 14. Because 5 weeks, roughly, were before skill tree and 5 are after, these redrops may have slightly different compositions. Do you think we might see, I'm wondering, some crazy Brawl Victor 9S sort of structure tanking quirking thing, or do you reckon we'll see a pretty standard mid-range?
I would be excited to see somebody build a full-on structure quirk brawl deck. Bring like you were saying. I mean, the 80-ton Victor is a surprisingly tanky. Carries the firepower of an Atlas if you can get it in range. Problem is, to get it in range, you have to bring the XL engine, and anybody who's been playing the game for 3 years knows hit the left torso or the right torso on the Victor, and it'll drop. And that hadn't changed that much, even with the extra armor quirks or structure quirks on the coming from the skill tree.
Yeah, for sure. I just think it'd be an interesting pick for this map because I mean you got jump jets, you got decent speed, jump jets on Canyon, Brawl. I don't know.
No, I mean put that up with some Brawl Timbers or some other
Executioner.
brawlers. Yep, Executioner's absolutely a great choice.
And you can even get a Marauder 2C.
Not a lot of assaults that do jump jets really well. Marauder 2C definitely could be a powerhouse on this map.
There's a couple options for that Marauder 2C, by the way, that can do that. You can get 2 LBX 10s, 5 medium pulse, with XL 350, 375 if you really want it. The DSA actually did bring it in drop 3 with 4 mediums, 1 large pulse, 2 SRM, 6 XL 400 and max jump jets. So I don't know. Like I honestly think we'll see some classic standard mid to long range sort of play, with a lot of DACA, lots of ballistic and stuff. But I want to see.
We're gonna. Oh, hold on. We just had a disconnect. So.
Oh, yep. There you go.
What happens next?
Well, it's before the drop starts.
I did have a green board there for a second.
So it's fine. Like the drop hasn't launched yet, so we just keep charting away. But yeah, I wanted to mention those shoutcasts because there's still a bunch more Dev B ones. I would love to see a no joke Brawl deck like on drop 5, particularly on a can. Like I think this is a great time to test something out.
And that may be what DSA's got set up for him with a heavy right side, heavy right side Bravo Charlie setup. I mean, they could be pushing super hard on Epsilon, forego Kappa Theta altogether, and with Team 1 spread out between Alpha Bravo and Charlie, then they have that option.
So I'm just going to draw some key bits of terrain here that are worth considering. These are probably the main ones. Oh, you got this big hill here. And then there's also a trash pile up here, which, yeah. These bits of terrain, and to a lesser extent, you got this ridge here. You got kind of like there too. Mean that you kind of have an internal set of canyons, which low ground is usually death. I'll be honest. Like usually, what happens is the team that drops down on the internal low grounds first in a trading engagement has the rougher end of it. But yeah, like holding these high ground positions, picking those white highlighted rocks and structures gives you a lot of map control, and that map control then lets you scout first, get initiative shots off. So, all the comp players and experienced players here already know this, but just in case there's some viewers that want to get into comp, if you can line your guns up to a place where they're about to peak, and you have initiative, and you can let loose your shot and then twist away, or move, or whatever you need to do. If you shoot first, think Han, Solo, and Greedo, okay? Works out better for you every time. Shoot first, then move. Don't try to move around crazy and then shoot, because you get a shaky shot, and you've probably already taken your damage already. So,
and after the match, flip the refs a couple of C-bills and say sorry about the mess. It is time to go.
Yep. Well, there are no dropships on Canyon Network, so we can go straight to look at the mechs. Oh snap! Is that Archer 5W and an awesome 8R? What the? Okay, I'm gonna look at DSA's mechs first here. 4 SRM6, 2 large pulse on the awesome. 9 SRM2 with Artemis on the Archer. Okay. They did get SRM2s. I don't remember what that. There's a patch about them. They got some heat reduction and it's like cooldown thing. LBX20, 4 SRM6 of Artemis on the Timber. Splat Jenna, of course. I mean, that goes with the theme. DSA is brawling this, man. They're going full in.
Yes, they are.
And they have, the 2 Atlases, double Atlas.
There's 2 Atlas, double Atlas.
LBX10s at that on the Atlas, and
Well,
the Kodiak
take a look
Stuck Up.
at the Ghost Bear roster. You may even be more surprised. We have 2 Highlander 7032 Breeze.
Oh, that makes so much. Seriously, oh man, I've been playing heaps recently. A Black Kid Fox for the light. Air Large Grasshopper, because why not? Another Atlas. What was that? I just watched.
Oh, I don't
Light
know.
Timber?
I don't
Yep.
know what you were watching, but it's a
Machine guns.
Also got a Warhawk, a
Large
Timber,
Pulse.
and a Grasshopper on the Ghost Bear side.
And classic Trim Boy Cheetah. He runs small pulses and a single machine gun because he's done for a while. Yeah, why not? So this is just a classic push.
DSA is making that hard Epsilon push with 1 scout up there on Theta. Ghost Bear setting up hard on those hills on Echo 4 to receive that push. Let's see how this goes for them. If they can keep moving, they've got 4 mechs behind cover, where DSA's got 5 mechs around the corner pushing up. They may
Kid Fox!
DSA may be able to take advantage of this.
And Mad Cat in the Atlas, he just walks straight into there. He's going to get backshotted. Captain of the 4 goes down the Kodiak. That happened really quick. Look at the focus fire from Ghost Bear just taking him down. 5 is in the Atlas going to go down. There's a bit of a split engagement happening. Mad Cat goes down. It's 100 ton of dead for both sides. Where's Archer?
The death from Captain Alt F4 was probably a calculated sacrifice. He kept going on the left side, where everybody else went up to the right, up onto that hill in Echo 4. So now they're trying to move around. That Timberwolf's going to get pounded. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. 2 kills each. But remember, Obstacle is about to go down. The Warhawk gets a heap of DPS there. Lermgard doing well, standing off in the.
All their mechs fully engaged now.
Absolutely. 4 to 3, but the crit mechs are on Ghost Bear's side. Damage advantage for DSA, but kill advantage for DSA. Oh, brought it back. DSA might take this one, I reckon.
Are doing work. I think DSA's got this.
Tanking of some of the mechs they brought.
It may come down to the bonus.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the structural quirks on these Highlanders, though, pretty tough to chew through. Renko is very, very fresh. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. Oh, he's right down the middle. He's got his back blown out. He shut down. Panic of it. Lermgard's about to go down. He goes in. Okay, and DSA has this. The Highlander was holding out pretty well. I'm going to I get a cockpit view here. Press is out of ammo. Okay, hang on. There's not as many mechs in the field as we first thought. Karenskov in the back, he's crit, he's going to blow himself up. Can he get the strike off? No, he goes down. Oh, Daisy blows himself up after getting the double kill. And is that everyone dead?
That is everyone except for the Kit Fox.
Which is
Preds is still running around in the Kit Fox. He's in Delta 5 between Epsilon and Theta.
I'm just going to look at these mechs. They are hurt as. Awesome, just holding on for dear life. Brilliant damage rolling there. The Cheetah, anti-anti, very fresh, will clean up whatever's left, and so DSA will take it. Those are alive assault mechs I see, so no bonus.
Kit Fox is engaged and gonna die here. Yeah, there we go.
Go. Oh man. I reckon if they got the bonus, so if they could have got a couple more kills, their scores would be pretty much bang on even, but DSA will get the advantage. Let's look at damage numbers here. Audi Man, awesome 8R, getting top score. Now, the last time an awesome 8R got top score, I think it was like MRBC season like 5? With like Lerms. So, as far as I've seen, I could be wrong. So, well done, Audi Man, 734 in the awesome 8R. Atlas is 850, sorry man. You didn't stop it.
Look
Mr.
at
Paddox
the work
did.
that Lermgod did again.
A triple 1K a night. Lermgod is just on fire. Good on him, man. 732B. Love that mech. Such a tanky one. Yeah, 3 RPLs and a Gauss. 1K. Well done to him. Definitely man of the night, I reckon. Mad Cat calculated sacrifice with that Atlas there. Just pushed right into it. I don't know if it was really worth that push, honestly. Just see you charge into those 3 mechs early on. Don't think it was worth it. I think, like, there's a point when Atlas pushes pays off, but counter pushing when they're already pushing on you just presents your target, and particularly given those back shots.
Well, Ghost Bear wasn't pushing at that point. Ghost Bear was, set up receive, and they were looking down into the Epsilon trench.
They were, but the Atlas
Echo 5, Delta 5. Everybody else, and that's where the Atlas went. The rest of their team went up the ramp in Delta 5 up to the high ground and forced a split engagement for Ghost Bear. And I think Ghost Bear kept their focus down low rather than focusing on the mechs up top, which may have swung the match for him. For DSA, I mean.
Absolutely. So,
if Ghost Bear had had an opportunity to, either rotate back or rotate away from the push rather than just stand still and receive it, then it may have been a different match.
Well, look at the final reputation point. Ghost Bear KD Pride 1050, Darkstar Alliance 1150. 3-2, but that is really tight rep points. That's 4 kills in it. It's like 25 rep per kill. That's 4 kills in it, or 2 bonuses, 50-point bonuses. So that's probably one of the closest match. That's definitely the closest I've casted. It's the closest match I've casted in terms of rep. Brilliantly contested. And I think both teams are going to learn a bit too. Right?
So before this match, the standings for Ghost Bear was at 7 matches played, 5,100 rep points, and for DSA 4,600 with 6 matches played. So yeah, this is turning into a very interesting matchup there in the lower end of Div B for the AP region. Both Ghost Bear and DSA putting forth really good tactics. I do think Drop 4 could have gone a lot better for Darkstar, but overall, very close matches across the board for both teams.
Absolutely, and I'm so happy there was a brawl at Drop 5. Oh, mate. It wasn't the mechs I expected. I like, for an 80 tonner, I thought Victor 9S, but awesome 8R, that's the quirks on the thing,
and
max survivability.
732B. I mean, you cannot. It's been a long time since we've seen a Highlander do 1,000 damage in anything.
Yeah, well, in comp, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's great to see. The Highlander that 732B, people don't know it, gets like some of the most armor and structure, I think it's armor actually, of any assault relative to its tonnage, except the Zeus 5S, I think is the only other one. But it gets Atlas D proportionality of armor quirks, which is huge. Plus it jumps, so you have JJ tap for damage mitigation, and it keeps its 10% energy range. So when you run 3 LPL Gauss, I'm not sure if it's standard or Excel, I gotta check that.
That'd probably be a standard build, and it's it's standard build and it's all right stacked, so there's a huge huge shield side there, and the side peak opportunities. A little bit difficult with the Highlander. I mean, the Highlander's got I think a 325 engine cap, so
yeah,
really
pretty slow
difficult really difficult to kick in that peeking in and out of a corner. But for side tanking, being able to show the entire left side of your mech and and just soak damage there gives you a lot of survivability.
Yep. Well, I think that's about it for the stream. I mean, you got the MRBC Discord website. You can see all the past shoutcasts. You got this Twitch channel, of course, which there's past casts on that too. You got the competitive play subsection of the forums, which has MRBC info. And if you haven't seen the roadmap, June-July roadmap, which I just saw earlier today, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a real lot of stuff happening in the game. The next 2 patches, June and July, and I mean, August got some stuff too, they're going to be huge. So, there's a competitive, queue, 8v8 queue coming out in Conquest with team rosters and all that jazz. Really keen for that. If you're in the AP region particularly, have a go. Just have a go. Like, more players playing it, the better. And then, of course, you got the new tech dropping. Got some bunch of new mechs and stuff too in July. So, yeah, there's some big changes coming. And just so you know, the new tech will be available to existing mechs for C-bills, free money. So, yeah, big change for everyone there, not just people who pre-ordered stuff like the Annihilators. Good.
Well, great work for DSA and Ghost Bear. We're gonna have an opportunity to to meet up with any of the teams, or is this the end of the stream?
It's probably gonna end it. I reckon they're gonna crack some beverages open, given it's Saturday night in Australia. So I don't know everywhere, but yeah, it's probably one of those ones. Yeah. So big shout, of course, to the 2 teams. Thanks for getting us in. I didn't even know. I forgot they were playing. Like, I was just playing group queue match, and one of them hops in. Oi, you want to shoutcast? I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it. And really big thanks to Kaguri for co-casting with me. I think it's your first MRBC cast.
It is.
So I think you did amazing. So really glad to have him in the cast. And yeah, just
if anybody can fill the little bit of white space that you allow in a shoutcast, then it's probably me. We've only been playing together for about 4 years.
Yeah, fair enough. It's been more than that, but yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. We enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.